Okay, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, you Akim out there that push this word in truth and in sincerity. It's going to be a quick lesson, this thinking about all the prophecies coming to pass, and all these earthquakes, in diverse places, uproars of the people. So we're at the time of the end of Esau's rulership. And Esau also knows, Esau being a so-called white man, also knows that his bounds has been set by the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, whereas he cannot overpass them bounds, man. Just like the other empires that ruled before Esau. Talking about this American empire, because Esau has ruled in the past, when he was the Romans and he was the Greeks. But he knows, international bankers, the elites know that the bounds has been set and they can't overpass some bounds, just like the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Romans. Even during the time of the Dark Ages, when Jake ruled for 1,000 years, their bounds were set too. But now, Esau has been loose for a little season, and them bounds has been set once more. The beginning of the Renaissance period was then a time of Cristobal Colon, or going back to the Bourgeois, but mainly when Cristobal Colon, and they start, building the cities back in the late 1300s, early 1400s, building up their kingdom. It's like I said, start with Cristobal Colon, man. And they're going to celebrate that devil this coming month of October. They're going to celebrate that devil for all the atrocities that he committed. But nevertheless, the bounds of Esau has been set. And there's scriptures to prove that. Abba Ratazah, you Akim out to be edified. So without further ado, I'm going to get into these scriptures. Like I said, I'm not going to make this lesson long, but I'm going to try to get straight to the point. I'm going to try to make this, quick as possible. This is Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined. Whose days are determined? Esau, the so-called white man. Starting with the Rothschilds, who are the international bankers, those that are secretly ruling. Because Donald Trump ain't ruling a goddamn thing. Neither are these prime ministers, these chancellors, these dictators. They all take orders from the international bankers, who are the true kings of the earth. Like I said, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, those are the true kings of the earth. They are ruling behind the scenes, pulling the strings. They are the earthly puppet masters. But guess what? The Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, are spiritual puppet masters. And they run the whole show. So that's why his days are determined. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. With who? Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. The Most High appointed your bounds, Esau, you red bastard, you devil, that you cannot pass. Just like he appointed the bounds of the Assyrian Empire. He appointed the bounds of the Babylonian Empire. He appointed the bounds of the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans, so forth and so on, man. So you know different. This American empire that you have, that has been given to you by Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, to use as a punishment against the sons of Israel for our wickedness. And that's why we was brought over here. So the bounds of your empire, once again, has been set. There was a time for you to rule, a set time for you to rule, and there's also time for your ass to go down, man. That's why it says, back in Job 14, verse 5, it says, the number of, I'm going to read it again from the top. Seeing his days are determined, to my Esau's days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, the number of Esau's time that he's going to rule is with the Most High. It says, thou hast, somebody, the Most High, Yahweh, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Yeah, Esau cannot pass 1 inch over the bounds that has been set from the rule. Because after that time is up, his ass is going into slavery. His ass is going to be taken out of his rulership. And that's it. This is Psalms chapter 104 verse let me see, 104 verse, I'm gonna go with 9. It says, "Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over." That bound is a time that you're gonna get taken out of your rulership, that you're gonna be snatched out of your power seat. I'm talking about you international bankers. You're gonna escape the judgment of the thermonuclear missiles. You're gonna escape the judgment of the concentrated fire, because you're gonna be the first fruits of slaves, man. You're going to be the first fruits of slaves. And your first task is going to be burying the dead, man. It says, thou hast set, back in Psalms 104 verse 9, thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth. Yeah, because once you get taken out of your rulership, it's not going to be like when that deadly wound was healed, when y'all came back into power, when the Roman Empire came back into power through Esau, which is corporate America, during the time of the late 1300s, early 1400s. Now you're not going to build the face of this. You're not going to build the cities with You're not going to build the face of the earth with cities anymore, man. Because once you get snatched out of your rulership, once your empire get destroyed, that's your ass. You're going into slavery for 1,000 years, and after that 1,000 years, you're gonna be eviscerated, man. You're gonna become extinct. Esau is gonna be no longer in existence. Esau being the so-called white man. So therefore, you're not gonna build the earth with cities anymore, man. You're not gonna spread your wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth anymore. Your total job, when you go down, is gonna be a big foot in your ass, being in them fields, and serving Yahweh Shah and the 1/3, 144,000. Us being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah. That's going to be your only task, man. Right, bastard. It says, I'm going to read it again. Psalms 104 verse 9. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over. You're not gonna overstep them bounds, man. That's been set for you to go and be taken out of your rulership, out of your power seat. When that time comes, that's your ass. When your time is up, your time is up. Look at all the empires of old. When their time came up, the empire came to an abrupt end. When their time came, the empire fell. It says, thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the city, to cover the earth. You're not going to cover the earth with cities, man. You're not going to rebuild your empire. You're going to be snatched out of rulership, starting with the Illuminati, which are the international bankers, man. You're going to be snatched out of your rulership. You're going to be snatched out of your rulership, and chains going to be clamped on your ankles, on your red-ass neck, on your hands, and on your waist. And you're going to be bound, tossed head first into a hole, a pit, until you get visited, until you be visited, and then given your first task of employment, which is going to be burying the dead. Now that word employment means slavery. So that's going to be your first task. Your first task is going to be burying the dead and trying to avoid that boot that's going to be jammed stiffly up your ass, put on your neck, upside your head. You're going to be getting slammed, beaten, broken. What you have done to the Israelites is going to be done to you but double. That's going to be your only task, trying to survive the day. Because you're not going to fill the earth with cities anymore. One more time so it can sink into your ears. It says, that they turn not again to cover the earth. With what? Cities, man. How can you cover the earth with your cities? You going from one end of the earth to the next. Whether you sojourning, traveling, and setting up shop wherever you travel and stop at, that's not going to happen this time, man. Because once you get snatched out of your rulership, that's the end of Esau. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start at let me see. I'm gonna start at 10. All they that speak and say, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? All them other nations that ruled before you, started with the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonians, the Medo Persians, so forth and so on. They all had their time to rule and they all fell. So that's what they're gonna be asking you. Are you became as weak as we are? It says, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? A broken empire. An empire that does not exist anymore. An empire that has never came back to take control of the earth again. You're going to be just like them other empires, man. Even though the Roman Empire came back through revival with the system they got right now, the American system with NATO and the EU. This is the last leg of your rulership, you red devil. It says, thy pomp, which is thy pride, is brought down. And that's the reason. That's one of the main reasons why your red ass is going to be taken out of your rulership. Because of your pride, man. Because of that pride that you have, man. You don't give the Most High credit for you being in the power seat. You think it's because your might, your wisdom. Nah. The Most High gave you this kingdom, man. The Most High put you in the power seat. But your pride is not letting you acknowledge that. Because you think you have the best military might, because you was given the blessing of the sword. So through your military might and the taking over of these nations, that built your pride to the point where as you think you can't go down, you think you God. But you're going to be taken out of your power seat. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, all the noise of thy vows, your music, or the music of today is like trash, man. That rap, mumble, jumble rap shit they got out there, where they, that kind of music. The music of today is nothing like the music of the 70s and the 80s. Why? Because it's garbage. And your music and your vows is being brought down. It says, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee. That worm represents corrosion. Look at the infrastructure of America. Look at the tunnels and the bridges, man. You get Libby driving over driving under the Lincoln Tunnel. You get Libby driving over some of these bridges, man. But you got to put up a prayer and put trust and faith in the Most High, man. But look at the infrastructure of America. It's totally crumbling, man. That's that corrosion, that worm. It says, the worm, which represents corrosion, is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. That corrosion is covering you, man. Talk about this empire of America. We at the last how can I say it? We at the last part of Esau's empire, man. We're approaching, you know, when the movies go on, if the credits go up, we're approaching when we're at the end of Esau's rulership. All you have to do is turn on the TV and go to alternative news outlets and look at what's going on all around the world. Uproars of the people, pestilence. When I mean pestilence, E. coli, Ebola, the Black Death. You got cancer. You got AIDS. You have all these lab manufactured diseases that Esau is pushing out there, man. And that's a part of prophecy. That's a part of the pestilence. Fires. Uproars of the people. The economy is totally circling the drain. Everything about this system that Esau have established is crumbling. So we know through prophecy that we're at the end of the age of Esau, the so-called white man. This is back in Isaiah chapter 14 verse 11. No, 14 verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer means the bearers of light. And the Illuminati are bearers of light on the left-hand side. And heaven represents rulership. How art thou fallen from thy rulership, O Lucifer? Talking about the Illuminati, the international bankers. Starting from the Rothschilds on down to the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Onassas, the Kennedys. All the 13 families that secretly controlling the world's resources and have established their kingdom through wickedness, man. Those are the Lucifer, the bearers of light on the left-hand side are the Illuminati, the international bankers, man. It says, Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground? Because you're going to be snatched out of your rulership. Through thermal, nuclear destruction, concentrated fire from them chariots, man. And them laser beams. When Yahweh cracked them skies, man. It says, which did weaken the nations. How did you weaken the nations? Through your chemtrails, your philosophies, putting the woman above the man, your homosexuality, your lesbianism, the fluoride in the water. Like I said, chemtrails, fluoride in the water, GMO foods, your policies, your philosophies, your military might. Those are some of the ways how you did weaken the nations, man. And the Most High is going to allow an assembly of great nations, pursuant to Jeremiah the 50th chapter and the 9th verse, to come up against you and snatch you up out of your rulership, man. So we're at the end of the age of Esau. And it's going to usher in a new age, an age of righteousness. This is 2nd Ezra. This is going to be the last scripture. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 8. It says, And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. Why is Jacob's hand holding on Esau's hill? Because Esau is going to be snatched out of his rulership due to Israelites, man. Started with the elect of Israel, the first fruits of the sons of Israel, the governing body. You're going to be snatched out of your rulership. Yes. Esau, the so-called white man, is going to be taken out of his rulership by the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. With Yahweh Shah leading the way. It says, verse 9, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, Esau being the so-called white man, that red bastard, he's not, that's why I said so-called, because he's not white, he's red. Esau, the so-called white man, is the end of the world, and Jacob, which are you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. When I say Jacob, I'm talking about the tribes. Starting with the 1/3, 144,000, the elect. And Jacob is the beginning of that. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Beginning of what? When once Esau get taken out of his rulership, Yahweh's gonna be Yahweh Shah's kingdom gonna be established, us being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah. So the bounds of Esau has been set. There's nothing he could do about it. His red ass is going down. Whether it be tomorrow, whether it be next week, whether it be next month, but we know we're at the end of the age of Esau. And with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Wakah Kodash, and double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that push this word in truth and sincerity. Abaratazah Yakim out there was edified. Until next time, Shalom.